we've got another episode, actually episode 3 of Polite Talks. It's one of the best leaders in the industry, Zach Anderson.
I bet you never noticed I could tell you what I wanted.
We have your boy Nor. We obviously got QB here, Kais Bader. Fucking leader of fucking Meraki, bro. How are you doing today, bro?
What an intro, dude. What an intro. I am doing amazing today. Today's been a good start. I've been excited for this since you texted me about it. One of my favorite people in the space, so I'm stoked to be here. Stoked to support however I can. Stoked to be here.
I'm not going to say that I'm like culture shock, but I look up to you so much, bro, because I remember when I first got into door-to-door, I remember Omar Kadashot recruited me over. And I remember like the
dog.
first, yeah, absolute dog. I literally remember when I first got, like my first taste of door-to-door was like, pulled up to this alchemy festival, or not festival, but like this event that Doug Cartwright had.
Yep. And
I'm pulling up and I'm seeing everybody, and I'm seeing one of my managers, Jay Lou, and then I see like the whole Meraki squad. I'm like, oh, these are the guys I'm going to work with. But it wasn't actually the people we're going to work with. And just seeing these guys absolutely dominate. But, dude, I have to just give you props real quick, dude. You have like one of the best cultures, one of the greatest leaders. You've given me a lot of insight about things.
Thanks, dude.
And Meraki is like the coolest fucking shit. Like I'm telling you right now, like the reason why Polite is even around, like a lot of inspo comes from Meraki.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. I appreciate it a ton. It's so weird. It's been weird going back on podcasts since I started mine and that whole journey, and then and realizing I'm kind of like one of the old dogs in the industry.
Yeah.
Like that, and that the older dogs are gonna look at that and be like, "You're so full of it, you have no idea." But dude, I'm 10 years into the industry, which
Wow.
is really like, it's weird to even say. I don't feel old enough to be 10 years in, but it's like, because I know exactly what you're talking about as far as like seeing the guys that like went and paved a path to be like, holy shit, that's what I want to go do something like that. Like I know. And all those guys now, you look at them, they're the ones that are like the OG. Like they've been in door-to-door for 25 plus years if they're still in it.
Yeah.
Right? The people before me. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy to hear that.
I love it, dude. I really want to like, obviously we already know the definition of Meraki. We obviously want to hear it from you, but like Polite obviously means like being effortless, living by your spirit, living by who you are, and like going against the odds of everything that goes within your life or goes against you while you're trying to achieve your goals. But like just a little bit insight about like what Meraki is and how did you find the word?
Yeah, dude. Ooh, that's actually a fun story. I'll give you like the medium length version of it. So as far as finding the word Meraki, I found the word Meraki back when I was in high school, and I like fixated on and obsessed over it. And in high school, I had a clothing brand with a few friends. And I've been putting more thought into this recently because I've been making keynotes about brand creation. And I'm trying to remember because like Meraki as an idea was not conceptualized by someone who was looking to start a company or a team and then name it. Like it wasn't like sought after. It just kind of like fell into my lap, and I don't know why I clung on to it. But now looking back, I've been able to kind of piece that together. I love branding. Like branding to me, and like multi-dimensional branding and deep branding and genuine branding is like, I think the difference between a successful company and an unsuccessful company. And marketing goes into that and everything else, but like a brand, and I'm coming to this realization now, but I'll tell you the origin mixed in with my thoughts now about
Please.
it. I had a clothing company in high school. I was obsessed with cool words. The name of the clothing company was a Basque word that meant create. And like my friends came up with it, but I was obsessed. Like, bro, it's so sick you guys like came up with that. So I like picked up on random things that had weird, deeper meaning to me all throughout high school. I collected them like little like cookies, dude. Like today's the day, the name of my podcast, that was just a saying that I coined back in high school with my best friend. We'd post a picture of our energy drink and say today's the day every day.
Shout out to the pod, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to the pod, bro. Like that was every day we just posted. So then when I came up with the podcast, it's like, dude, what's like me? I'm like, oh, to everyone that knew me in high school or followed me on Instagram or saw me through my first 3 years in door-to-door, all I said every day was today's the day. And it was like, there's a deeper meaning of that to me in a big way, a way deeper meaning, but it came from like a sticky note in Casey Baugh's office when I met with him, right? That's where I got today's the day, and I stuck with it all through high school. As far as Meraki, dude, I was like obsessed with Meraki. What I did know was, okay, this name, like I can do something really cool with this, like obsessed with it. And if you know Meraki, you know my guys, like I think we have 60 plus guys that have the tattoo. Now I've got the tattoo on my arm. And like you have to earn it, you have to hit your metrics.
Just crazy that you've made that like an incentive.
Right. Yeah, and then you're allowed to go get it tattooed, and it's like a really cool way of knowing, like, dude, it's become something really cool. But as it started out, the meaning of the word is to do something with soul, creativity, or love, or to leave a piece of yourself in your work. And to me in high school, I watched like some of the greatest to ever do it. Like I had a front row seat to Todd Peterson because his kids were some of my best friends in the world. Like, and they took me under their wing in so many ways. But then I also got to watch this dude like leave his soul in his work. I'd be hanging out with Sydney, and he'd be in a recruiting meeting with some of the OG VPs like at 2 a.m. when we're hanging out with all the high school students on a Friday night. And I'm like, bro, this dude's a dog.
Fucking G.
Yeah. So I watched people do that throughout my like high school, and then Casey was a big influence on it as well, but the meaning meant a lot to me. So then when it got to the point of like okay, I'm like building a team, I branded my team way before I ever probably should have, because it was meaningful to me and it gave me something to have people buy into.
Sure.
Like I'm a big believer in having something to buy into and having something to identify with. And there's a lot of things in door-to-door I haven't done super well. Like I've kind of learned it the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of different things that I've had to like really develop to get my program to where it is now.
Right.
One of them that I was just really good at, or I guess intuitive with is a better way of saying it than good at, was just like, dude, branding to me means you're creating an identity that the second somebody chooses to be a part of that group, they take on that identity.
Right.
And they influence that identity. And with that approach, I feel like as humbly as I can say it, like Meraki we're not the biggest brand in door-to-door at all. We're not the biggest team, but we are one of the most defined brands in door-to-door, undoubtedly, for people who have worked with us, people who haven't, people who want to, people who hate us, people who compete against us. Like, we have an identity, and that's been my goal for 10 years. So it's super cool to have done it. And the choosing of the word and all of that, like, I'm really, really glad that I put, like, that I chose to have it be multidimensional, because then the identity is something way more people can buy into and really identify with.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Makes a lot of sense. You guys are known for just having a bunch of savages and really great culture and developing reps, creating reps, like people that come from like ground up. And like, again, this is no glazing for anybody who's watching. We're just literally preaching for how it is and like bringing light to what it is.
A little bit of glaze, huh?
Hey,
we
got to say what's good. We got to say what's good. But again, that's just how it is. But the meaning of Meraki, because again, like, these guys are not just like repping Meraki just because, like, no, these guys believe in the vision like wholesheartedly, not like
get tatted on them.
Yeah, dude, like it's huge, and I've seen it whenever we go out to like the alchemy festivals and stuff like that. But like, what is the meaning of Meraki?
Yeah, the meaning of Meraki, it's a Greek word, and it means to do something with soul, creativity, or love, or to leave a piece of yourself in your work. And like, to me, that's everything. If you can do something with soul, creativity, or love, you're operating in a spiritual frequency entirely. Mm-hmm. And when you're operating in that plane, life's incredible, right? So if you can continually do things with soul, creativity, and love, like, your life is actually really cool, regardless of anything else. If that's the state that you're operating from, your life is amazing. And then the second part, to leave a piece of yourself in your work, like, that's what you do. Like, if you go, I mean, if you want to get all woo and everything, you go look at Butterfly Effect and like the impact you have everywhere you go, and how you legitimately carry an energetic frequency. I'm gonna sound so woo.
No, you're good, dude. We're all hippies in here, right?
I'm gonna sound like a hippie.
It's all good.
Like, you carry an energetic frequency around with you in every room you step into. You, like, scientifically, you can go and check this. You and your energy affects the energy in that room.
100%.
And like, what that means is you can go leave a piece of yourself everywhere you go. You can choose to go leave it way better than it was when you got there. You can choose to go and be a detriment to it, or you can be neutral, but there's no such thing as neutral. It's always negative. So it's a reminder to continuously make sure that the piece of yourself that you leave in your work is a positive one. Yeah. And your work is anything you do. That's your relationships, your actual work, like 100%. Your job, that's your company. That's the industry. Like, I'm just a big believer in that in general. Like, be aware of who you are, because a piece of you gets left everywhere you go. Yeah.
And speaking about branding, obviously, like, when you think about Nike, Adidas, or Polite, or like even Meraki, like, it's always about like the feeling that's being portrayed, which obviously comes from the leader, the originator of that. And you find a lot of people when they're trying to create like a team name or like a brand, they're always working backwards. Like, oh, I need to figure out the word. But in reality, it's like you're kind of lived by the specific thing. It manifests through your actions, and it just so happens to come through. It's like the main thing that I happen to see is like a repetitive thing that I see with a bunch of people in the industry, even people that are trying to create brands or whatever, even if they're trying to songwrite, whatever it is like they come through like writer's block, which like I've written music before, and like people are trying to like force lyrics to happen. Like, no, it actually just generally like comes through like a melody type thing. Mm-hmm. Like for Polite, for an example, I remember like the way that I found it was like the word just like absolutely shocked when I was like in Mykonos and some dude just happened to say it, and I was like, holy shit, that's like crazy. And like the first thing I was able to think about, like effortless, was able to think about my uncle, about like how he was just like this effortless guy that just like does it. Like that's just super polite. And like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I just want to name my team Beast because we're like a bunch of beast guys and all this shit. But like in reality, it truly is like a thing where I think, and obviously it seems like with like your stories, that it truly just comes to you. It really just literally just pops in like out of nowhere, and it's like the thing where it feels like the least path of resistance, where this is a specific thing.
Yeah, dude. If you think about it, and I'll get serious for a minute here, but we're in the woo-woo talk. We're talking about branding, and the way that I view branding. I mean, I don't know. Are you familiar with Rick Rubin?
100%.
So Rick Rubin is the goat of all goats, right? And I've watched YouTube videos. I don't know everything about him, but I watched a couple YouTube videos about him. Like, dude, why is this guy like? How does he have a piece in the greatest music ever written?
Yeah.
Like this guy in every genre. Like how is he gonna go and give advice to one genre and then be able to go and give advice to another? So I'm like, I gotta go learn about this. So I got down like a rabbit hole YouTube video on like him and people that have worked with him, and Pharrell talking about working with him, and these people, and they're like talking about working with Rick Rubin. It's all about Rick Rubin. And they're like, dude, he like came in and it was like he didn't do anything, but everything got better. And then the reporter's like asking, like, what do you mean? Like, what did he actually do? Like, what did he come in? He's like, he had us turn the music off. He had us close our eyes. He had us listen to the music, asked us what color it portrayed, asked us what color we wanted our album cover to be. And like, they're like, and next thing we knew, we were realizing things about the track we had never thought about before, because we just kind of let go and stopped thinking and like just kind of felt into everything. And like that was the underlying theme with him, is we just kind of felt into everything. So Rick Rubin, he's not the richest dude in the world. He's not any of those things, but he is the goat of goats in the music industry. And like that's because he is a master at branding. He's a master at identity. He's a master at kind of operating in that plane. The same people who can go think of a brand like Polite and give it the meaning you've given it, and Meraki, like the thing is, that doesn't mean we're the best door-to-door leaders at all.
100%.
Right? It's kind of a little bit more of an artist's area to go and create a brand and have it be so multidimensional, which is super fun. But then you also have to go realize some of those regions, like I don't know if there actually is a region named Beast. I'm pretty positive there is.
There's I think there's Puma Beast.
Yeah, I think there's Beast, and I actually like, dude, Puma. Some of their branding, I'm like, dude, I would never do that. Like the Jedis or something like that back in the day. I forget I think it was the Jedi region actually. I'm like, I would never do that, but it meant something to them. And more importantly, they obliterated anything I ever did. That region obliterated anything I've ever done in my career. They're better than me. I think that was Tim Yesta. So shout out Tim Yesta, shout out Neil.
Shout out to the boy.
Like they did better than me in our world, but yeah, I would agree. I think my brand has way more to it, but that's also like my area. I really enjoy that. So you don't need it to go and dominate, and I feel like a lot of people like try and force it, and they don't just accept like, dude, I'm really good at systems and sales. I don't give a shit about branding. They can't just admit that. I think a good brand is an authentic brand, and if that means the leader's not a brander, then just make an authentic brand that's like Jedi. That was so authentic to Tim Yesta. Like I would never, you couldn't catch me dead. But that was so authentic to that guy. Like just a super smart dude, loved video games. I didn't know a ton about him, but I remember him presenting, and I was like, and it was so authentic to him. He didn't try and go be something because it looked cool. Yeah. So that was really cool and insightful for me as well. But yeah, branding, when you talk about branding, it's kind of like it's a fun, I think every art form can be spiritual, and it's a fun art form because there's no right way or wrong way. There's a lot of different right ways and a lot of different wrong ways. Yeah, it's 110% spiritual. And here's the thing, to go back to Rick Rubin, he's not only just the master of everything you just mentioned, he's also a master of detachment. Because one of the things, if you paid attention, like some of his documentaries, when you go inside of his house, it's completely white. No art on the walls. Yeah. No pictures. Have you ever watched Dave, Lil Dicky's TV show? Yeah, I have seen that, yeah. Bro, the episodes where he goes into Rick Rubin's house and stuff murdered me. Yeah. Because it's actually, like, they're actually at Rick Rubin's house, I believe. And it's like, it's so outrageous. Malibu, I think it's in Malibu, yeah. It's so outrageous. Yeah. All the stuff you're explaining, his house is literally just a white. White, nothing's there. And that goes into the whole thing. Like, obviously, like, let's just detach it from, like, the concept of, like, finding a brand, letting things come into you. Like, we're in the world, and it's, like, a bunch of shit going on where it can, like, pop an idea here, pop an idea here. But, like, when you're, like, Mac Miller, right, rest in peace, like, you're pulling up over to Rick Rubin's house. Like, it's, like, this thing where you're not gaining any inspiration but just Mac Miller. Kanye West is pulling up there. It's just literally all internal. Yeah, it's all internal. It's all coming out of you, right? Yep. And it's really interesting because, again, like,
it's really cool to be able to be a great leader, all this different stuff. Like something will manifest. It's not like when you have like a name or anything like that, that's going to be like the thing that's going to get you all the sales in the world. But again, it's like having something that people will be able to live by, believe in is so damn powerful. Like any brand that's currently out there, it's like, what does this brand make me feel? You got Elwood for an example. You can compare it. I mean, I don't know Abercrombie and Fitch, but just for like the sake of the conversation, like no matter what it is, everything happens to bring like a different feel. Like when I see Meraki, like I think of like just like easy bunch of surfer guys, but like surfer guys that like not are just like super mellow, like the most dialed motherfuckers are out there just absolutely ripping. Like when I think of a surfer guy, like I think of a surfer guy that's just living like paycheck to paycheck and doing it for the love of just surfing. Yeah. But the way I see with you guys is it's that, but it's also I'm making a fuckload of money simultaneously at the same time. Yeah. And there's so much more to that.
You're trying to say it's like you guys have such a core to you. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing that they live by is just super core, you know? And it's not really like surfer vibe, but I would say like they're just very, very down to the core with what you guys have going on.
And I think a good substitution for surfer vibe as well is just like, dude, we will take anybody. Like I'll go take the kid nobody wants to recruit and turn him into a dog that beats like the number one pick. Like I pride myself on that because I was one of the guys, my first recruiting meeting ever in Door to Door. I sat down with someone who's still regional at the same company. They literally looked at me and my best friend. They're like, no, you guys, like, we take return missionaries. We take sharp 22-year-olds. Like, dude, you got to cut your hair. Like, this probably wouldn't, like, you probably wouldn't be able to hack this. And for me, it was, like, earth-shattering, and I kind of believed it at first, to be totally honest with you. And then the group I ended up with Brad Rosser, was like, dude, he's the most accepting, cool dude ever, easiest to love dude ever. First thing he said to me was how much he liked my hair. Like, which is a silly thing, but it just shows, like, the difference in personalities. Yeah. And to me, that was a big vote of confidence. It's a big reason why I've done anything in the industry. 100%. So it's like, dude, if we can go give that vote of confidence to other people, even the surfer bum types, the guys who are going to go hang out in the mountains, or the guys who are going to go to EDC, or the guys who just got back from a mission, or the guys who are from the frat, like everybody. All comes together. And we can go create an identity that includes all of those people. That's powerful. And that's really cool because then you're legitimately changing people's lives that would never have the opportunity to have them changed without you.
So let's talk about like the power of just absolutely having like a great brand. The biggest thing that I appreciate about Meraki is the fact that it obviously is super developed, a tight fucking pack, bunch of wolf packs, and obviously we have a great leader that merges in the front and also at the back at the same time. No homo. But the thing that I'm just trying to say is like what I appreciate about Meraki is like this thing where like it's so like condensed to where it's like you guys don't take this identity where you guys are Sunrun. You guys don't take this identity where you guys are Vivint. You guys took that identity where it's like Meraki is just happens to be here because this is what makes sense for you guys, for at least you. Yeah. And what I do appreciate about you, Zaw, is like the fact about like it's not like this thing where you hold attachment to like this place that you're working at. No, it's like this thing where like I'm the leader, which is earned, which is for me like setting like the playing field and like setting these expectations based on the hard work you've done. And it's like this thing where like I am gonna go wherever I feel or know for a fact would be a better place for my guys. So let's take it all the way back. Yeah. Meraki comes through. I've listened to some of your podcasts, but we obviously want to bring light to that. But like you're setting the playing field, you're freaking knocking in, I think in like Utah, dude, at one point when you're like trying to get all these freaking deals. But let's take it all the way back from the story of Meraki on how it became developed and like even like how you were at Vivint and how you took it over to Sunrun.
Yeah. Long story. So you want my 10-year career?
I want to know from the jump, dude.
All right, we'll give you like the quicker version, and there's a lot of credit that's owed that I'll probably forget to give. So like, more than anything, I want to make sure nothing I say is like me taking credit for what Meraki's turned into. There have been way too many people that have helped me get there for it to be like me. Sure. 100%. But yeah, dude, my door-to-door career started out before Meraki was ever a thing and the brand was ever there, and before I ever had a good core, before ever it was tight-knit. It was me. I loved a word. I got referred into door-to-door, and I got into it straight out of high school. Like I graduate high school at 18, and I get into it. me and my best friend and his brother and his cousin, like the coolest dudes ever, we all ship out to Memphis, Tennessee. Because it's like, hey, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to just start inviting people.
We were just in Memphis last week.
We should, dude, I love Memphis.
Yeah, it's fire.
I still love Memphis.
Favorite fire market.
We ship out to Memphis, Tennessee, and I remember I get out there, dude, and it's just culture shock. And me at this point in time, I'm an 18-year-old kid. I didn't hit puberty till I was 17.
Word.
So my voice is still like high-pitched voice. I have same length hair, complete baby face, like looked like a girl, and like just like incredibly shy and socially anxious in like any type of uncomfortable situation. I can totally jive with you and hang out with you and be cool if me and you were chatting, but like confrontation, hell no. Like friends are arguing, I leave and I get like a panic attack. Like that was my high school. And go out there and I'm in Memphis and I remember I'm knocking and the team that I'm a part of is like a vet dominating squad. Like it was Brad Rosser's region. He'd broken a couple teams off and then his office was literally 10 dudes who all sold 250 plus, didn't want to do correlation. We're on a softball team together, the coolest dudes ever. They've been doing it for 5 years. Like they're just going to go make their 200 grand and go home, right? And like, so there was not a lot of structure. There was not a lot of like training or anything like that, which at the time felt like the biggest curse ever, but I didn't know any different. But as I've gone and like built something, I'm kind of grateful for it because it's like I'm very deliberate with that now. We don't miss a Tuesday training from the day we start it till the day we leave for summer, period. It doesn't matter if I'm in Japan. I make sure I delegate it and someone runs it. Like those types of things came from it. But that summer, it was really hard, man. Like I when my dad dropped me off, he let me know, hey, you don't have a room. Like when you come home, you got to be in student housing. So that means I can't go home. I literally don't have anywhere to go. I'm broke as shit. And I start knocking and I'm really struggling. And dude, I'm out there and my best friend, he's outselling me. His brother's outselling me. His cousin's doubling me. And I'm like, dude, holy shit. And like, you know how that is. Like I was just not a confident person at all. And it was really tough, dude. By the time August came around, I want to say I was at 12 accounts. And like, yeah, that's like
from April?
I had gotten out there right after. No, it would have been middle of May that I got out there, middle of May. 12 accounts. And for those of you guys that are at Vivint, you know that. Like I was the worst rep in the entire region, and I like should have been sent home, right? And at this point, actually, let me rewind 2 weeks. Before I got back out there in August, I flew to pick up one of my best friends from his mission with his dad and a few others. And his dad just so happened to be the president of Vivint.
Oh, word.
It's a fun story. It's worth telling, I promise, and I'll skim past it.
No, dude, take your time.
I go with Alex Dunn. He's been a big mentor for me, a big role model. We went to pick up Grant, who still this day is like my best friend. We go to pick him up from his 2-year LDS mission, and we're flying around, and we're in Spain, and I remember I'm like, okay, I'm going to get back out there. It'll be August 12th. I have syllabus week August 25th or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact dates, but it was August and August. I'm like, why would I fly back out to Memphis and then fly back home in 2 weeks? Like I'm literally selling one a week. That's 200. Like what am I going to do with $400? Like I would rather just be home. That conversation starts.
Right.
Well, I'm on this trip with the president of the company. And I remember, dude, I'm out there and just being like, okay, I'm like, I think I could probably convince Alex. Like Alex is technically Brad's boss's boss. If Alex says I can go home and he justifies it, then they can't make me go back out.
Right.
And it's not that I didn't want to do it again. It's not that I hated it. I had already made some decent money that year, so I was like happy with it. And I go try and convince Alex. I'm giving him every reason. I'm like, yeah, dude, I should go back. Like I there's no point in me going back to Memphis for 2 weeks. This is why. This is how much volume I'm doing. It's 2 more weeks of volume, and I got to buy a flight. It'll cost me more. Like I'm like selling this dude on why I should not go back out for summer. He should just fly me to Salt Lake with him.
Yeah.
And he just laughs, and he's like, call Casey. He's like, see what Casey says. If Casey says, okay, I don't care. He's like, go for it. Yeah. I call Casey, right?
Oof.
On the phone with Casey. Casey, like, he listens, stops. I doubt Casey even remembers this, but on the phone, he's like, no. He's like, you're not quitting. He's like, if you quit in this, you're going to quit in everything. And, like, I didn't let that sink in. I immediately come off, I'm like, no, I'm not quitting. Like, I'm going to go back next year. I didn't quit. Like, it just makes more sense. And he just repeated himself. And then I let it sink in. And he said, if you quit in this, you'll quit in everything because how you do something is how you do everything. And it was like a holy shit moment. Okay, I'm going back. Right? So I end up back in Memphis, and I finished the summer. I ended up selling 26 accounts.
Wow. Damn.
And total. So I had my 12, and then I got to 26. And that was me staying out through syllabus week. And it's not like I just started crushing. I got back out there, bageled my first 2 days, and like just kind of slowly picked it up towards the end. And my last week was probably one of my best weeks. I probably did 6 or something that week.
Nice.
And then I went home, and the craziest thing was, it's not even like I felt like I was better at sales at that point either. Like, it was just like, okay, I finished. That was a good finish. And I thought I was rich, dude. I made 12 grand. I ordered AirPods. I don't know why I remember it so well. Like, it was the most expensive thing I had ever bought.
Yeah.
And I'm going to UVU in my $1,200 Nissan Sentra on chrome plastic rims with two 12-inch subs in the back. I think I'm like rich, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm the baller at UVU with 12 grand in my bank account. And it was like, yeah, I'll go do that again. So I'm going to college, and then a really pivotal moment for Meraki was that off season in February. I remember it was February 13th. It was right after I turned 19 years old. And I went to Casey's office. It's right by the mouth of the canyon in Provo, right down by where we hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to his office, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I want to go like do another summer. And it was like a check-in meeting. Like, he brought me in to have like a, hey, let me check in on your life. How are you doing? And I'm thinking he's going to just tell me to go out again for summer. I'm like, that's easy because I'm already going to do it. So I go in there. I'm like, I'm going to go out for summer. It's going to be sick. And I sit down. And for the first time in mine and Casey's relationship ever, like ever, he expressed a level of disappointment the way that I understood it. And all he did is he looked at me and he said, Zach, you have the golden ticket that people would kill to have in this opportunity. If you're going to go out there and waste it again, don't go out. And I was like, whoa, like this dude's like my hero. And like I clearly just let him down. Like he knows that I sucked, right? And it was like it could have destroyed me in a bad way, or what it did was it like I unlocked a different gear I had never operated in my life, and I operated in that gear for 4 straight years. And it's not the most healthy gear ever. It was like I had no like life balance at all with work in this 4-year period. But I just started doing all of the things and anything I could do. From that point until summer, I interviewed 20 people who had sold 300 accounts in a summer. Before summer, that February, I was taking 17 credits at UVU, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, and I knocked every Thursday, Friday, Saturday from that day until summer in Utah.
In Utah.
Yeah, we didn't have any blitz trips or anything like that. There wasn't much organization to kind of go off of. So I just started knocking in Utah. Like, didn't even know how to schedule a technician in Utah. The first 2 accounts I sold never got installed because I didn't know how to get a technician out here.
Corporate technicians type shit, huh?
Exactly.
Damn.
Or just a local Utah OM that could go and send me people. And like I just started doing everything different. I started reading every day. I wrote my top 10 down every day, and it was just incremental, man. Like, it's not like I went out that Friday, Saturday and sold. I bageled. Yeah. But then I'd get a weekend where I'd go sell 2, and then I'd sell 3, and then I'd 2-spot. I'm like, holy shit, I've never 2-spotted even 2 days in a row. And this was all in Utah in the freezing cold when it's pitch black by 5:30. And I had like a little game where if I got a deal, I'd go get myself a burger. Like, that was like my deal with myself. And dude, I had no social life. I had no friends in college. I had no girlfriend in college at this point. It was all I thought about. And then I went out that summer, and dude, it's not like I went and sold 300 accounts and I was the best. No. I was still like a very middle of the pack in the office, but I was the most improved rep at Vivint. Right. I went from 26 accounts to I sold and installed 26 accounts before summer that year. And then I ended at 175 that year.
This is your second year?
My second year, when I was 19. So I made
no recruits at all?
I brought out like 6 buddies, but I didn't manage them, didn't lead them. Like, my mission that year was my sales. Made 128 grand, and I promised myself if I made 100 grand, I'd drop out of college and go full time. And when I made 128 grand, like, dude, that's more than I've ever seen my mom and my dad make combined. Like, that was a really big deal for me. That was when I was like, okay, shit, dude, I have got to go get, like, this is the golden ticket. Like, it kind of sunk in for me. And I think Casey treated me that way because he knew kind of where I come from and that this was kind of my shot, if that makes sense. So that was just gas in the fire, dude. I locked in. That next year we went and did 2,250 accounts. It was the year of COVID. Like, we were one of the groups growing the fastest during COVID. It was a great year for us. We loved it. Next year we ran the #1 office at Vivint. We broke 4,000 accounts the next year, and like, it was a really, really fun run. And through all that was creating Meraki, and then all the guys that got involved. And dudes, the years I'm telling you about right now, 3rd year, 4th year, like, some of those guys are still with me. Like, that's the coolest part to me. I've been able to go, and like my little brother being one of them, one of my favorite dudes in the world, like, I haven't done anything for him. He's done all of it. But like, I've gotten to go and at least even introduce him to the opportunity that's allowed him to go and buy a house, be under contract on his 2nd house when he's now married and like living an awesome life. Like, that's freaking cool. And that's what everything's kind of come from, was those years. Vivint was incredible. I became the youngest regional at Vivint. The only argument there is Bodie, because Bodie Gardner supposedly was also a regional at 23, and he thinks the metrics were harder, which I do think he's right there. But I did have the title regional at 23, so I'm tied with Bodie. But all respect to Bodie. And I was the youngest regional at Vivint. It was a lot of fun. Like, I got to know the company really well. I knew everyone in the company. I love everyone in the company. Like, a lot of my heroes came from that company. And then things kind of shifted a little bit as far as the company in general. The VPs were no longer a part of it, who were really, really, like, big figures in my life. Todd was out of it. Alex was out of it. And that was really hard for me because those are, like, all my heroes. And they were also it was perfectly aligned for that 4-year stretch where, like, all my heroes were my heroes, and they worked with me. And they gave me advice every day, and they'd sit in recruiting meetings with me.
Damn.
And they were heavily invested in my success. Like, it was so fun, dude. It was damn near addicting. And then they all left, and obviously sentiment changes, and it was still amazing. Vivint was great. Josh was still there. The partners were still there. They're all amazing. But I'll give kind of my experience on why I made the decision to go from Vivint to Sunrun at the point that I did, and kind of what happened from that decision, from me making that decision. And I'll tread somewhat lightly because I want to be super respectful of anybody that might listen as well. But it got to the point at Vivint where the sentiment changed and everything, but it was still amazing. It was great. We were still growing. There wasn't a year that we went backwards in production. Like, my role was evolving. I was earning more money than I had ever earned. I had incredible stock from the company. I had really good residual. Like, the compensation plan for me was everything I'd ever worked to get to be done knocking. Like, that was the thing, right? And financially, I was there. And, like, everything was teed up, and my groups were growing, and they were finally on their own. Like, it was like everything was going really good.
Developed reps and everything.
Developed reps, yeah. Like, you finally have those guys where you can count on them. You
100%.
know they've got your back. You know that you don't have to wonder about them. Like, that's your fucking ride or die. Hopefully you can bleep the F words. But yeah, dude. And I always, in every recruiting meeting since I started recruiting, because I have a really hard time in the industry with half truths or exaggerations or whatever. And the reason I have a hard time is not because I'm here to go say someone's wrong if they say something that's not entirely true.
Sure.
I'm not here to go judge anybody, but what I am here to go and have frustration about, and I'll tell you why I'm telling you this, is if you go and you take advantage of someone's ignorance to get them to work with you in door to door, and they don't see the expectations that you set for them because they were unrealistic expectations, they will go develop a belief that door-to-door is not something that could go and help their life massively,
100%.
all because of you. I have a massive problem with that. Because if that would have happened to me, I have no idea where I'd be in life. Like, I would not be where I'm at. That's for sure.
Which is the reason when you did go over to Sunrun, every single rep came over, unless it was like some things out of your control.
I kind of want to, like, backtrack. So, like, what's kind of, like, kind of go into that a little deeper.
So what I mean by that, and I'll tell you why I say that, and then I'll get to the point of when I went to Sunrun, and then when all my guys decided to do whatever they did. Like, that's a massive pet peeve of mine, and I noticed it my second year in door-to-door because I watched someone who was way more talented than me, way better than me, and needed this opportunity. Went with a different region, did not have the experience I had. The guy told me he was going to go make $200,000. He made 60. It was rookie year. Right, and just missed it. And that dude was so turned off to door to door. He still doesn't work in door to door. Now he works in night, and I know his life would be better if someone wouldn't have gone in and played on his ignorance. So that drives me crazy.
And so the ignorance that you're going to is basically telling someone that they can make way more money than they actually could.
It's any half truth you're saying when it's not a full truth. It's even saying all the good shit about what you do and not the bad stuff too.
Yeah.
In door to door, you always trade problems. You never extinguish your problems. If you go from one place to another, you trade problems. Your job is to communicate those problems to the people you bring into it so their expectations can be level. And obviously, I get passionate about this, but because of that, ever since I started recruiting, something I've told every one of my guys from the beginning of me recruiting ever, you can ask my OGs that have been with me since year 2, is if this is ever not the best opportunity for you and the brand new reps we are bringing into it, I won't be here anymore as much as I love it here, and you'll have the opportunity to do whatever you want.
Fair.
And I've told all my guys that. And it's my way of saying, hey, I'm being honest with you here. I'm telling you this is the best place to be, and I'm confident in it, and if it's not, I'll leave. The best place for you, not for me. I make the promise to them. And I never, full transparency to you guys, never thought that where I was at wasn't going to be the best place. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been recruiting to it. I never thought it was going to get to that point.
Because that stuff would kill you. It would eat you up,
It would eat me alive. right? It would eat me alive. Like, I never thought we were going to go anywhere else. I never wanted to at all. Like, dude, the position that I was in when I made the transition from one company to another was I had gone and built up a massive equity portfolio with the company that was going to vest if I just stayed onboarded. A massive residual plan that paid for my entire life.
Would you mind sharing the number?
Well, I won't share my equity. My equity number would have been easily 7 figures.
Okay.
Right this minute, like multiple 7 figures. My residual plan was just up around 15 grand a month, and I don't need 15 grand a month to live off of. That's what I live off of right now. Meaning my residual was covering my whole lifestyle. Everything else was investing, and to me that's super exciting. It was super aligned, and my override, like I was earning just under 120 grand under 7 figures in just override. Like, I was in a very good situation, and I still love Vivint, and it was an amazing opportunity. So I never thought I would ever have to find a different place from what I knew was best from the information that I had. Never wanted to. And also for me, like, that's like, there was so much risk involved with moving. So I'll tell you kind of the story of how it came to be. At the time, Vivint had a solar dealer, and then they had their smart home, and we had guys that were doing solar because Brad was a pretty heavy contributor to the solar program.
Who's
Brad's
Brad?
my regional. So
Okay.
our region did a lot of the solar volume that Vivint Energy used to do before they closed the doors on it.
Okay.
And then the smart home leg was like me, Kelton Higgins, and our 2 groups running that. So the year we left, we had done just over 10,000 installs, smart home, and then 2,000 solar installs.
God.
And the reason it got to the point of me leaving was I knew all of these guys selling solar. I know Nate Lords. I know all of his guys that were in our group, right? And we used to compete in a smart home. And, like, not in a bragging way, but in, like, just an open friend talking. Me and Nate have worked together for 7 years. Like, I would hear about how much his guys were making. And part of me is like, oh, dude, it's Nate. Like, he's just inflating numbers. There's
Sure.
no way. Like, he's just like, whatever, right? And I hope Nate watches this and sees this because he'll laugh. But it's like, but then I'm like, no, I really got to get serious. Like, because then my guys at that point were like, hey, man, I heard this kid made 600 grand. Like, when he was selling with us last year, he made like a fifth of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, like, you know how it is. Like, no, bro, no, he didn't make that. I didn't actually know, but I'm like, there's no way. So it felt honest saying, no, he didn't make that. Then I got to a point where I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I've had to say, no, he didn't make that enough times that I need to go see if he made that. And I need to go correct myself if I'm wrong. And, like, genuinely, I thought I was going to go look at the pay and have Nate show me and, like, look at the comparison and be like, oh, like, that's exactly what I expected, bro. It's, like, we're fine. I can keep doing what I'm doing. But I looked at it, dude, and it was right after summer. So it was like we just got back from summer. It's right after summer. We grew that year. I didn't have to knock that year. It was, like, the coolest year ever. And then it was like a gut punch when I got that data, and I was like, oh my gosh. And again, to be super vulnerable and honest with you guys, the first day of it was, don't say anything. Like, you didn't see that. Like, you're good. Your guys are making 150 grand. Like, you're good. Like, they're making good money. No one's complaining. You're all good. And like, I tried to roll with that mentality for approximately 35 hours. Like, that whole night I didn't sleep. Halfway through the day, couldn't stop thinking about it. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, it is what it is. So I had a conversation with Brad Rossiter, who was my regional at the time, and he was having the same realizations from the conversation that I had with him just when we were just talking, right? And then went completely on my own and just basically did what I felt was the due diligence to find exactly what the best way to go about it would be, where the best place to do it would be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And nothing would have made me happier than staying at Vivint Energy and doing it because it was the path of least resistance at the time.
Fair.
But it was super clear that that wasn't something that the company wanted to go and scale or do or whatever, or whatever the reasoning behind it was. My interpretation was I just don't think that's something they're going to go invest into, and I don't want to pivot everyone to something, learn it, and then not be able to do it anymore. And basically found the place for me that I was like, okay, I am so confident that if I come here, every guy that I look in his eyes, I can say the same thing I've always said in my past 7 years of working. And I can say it honestly. I've seen what I need to see. And then I resigned from Vivint and I went to Sunrun and didn't recruit a single one of my guys, but it just so happened that a lot of guys wanted to keep working with me or found interest in Sunrun and met with the VPs or whoever they met with. And when we came over, every single one of the reps in Meraki came with us, except 2 that couldn't pass a background check.
Right, I've heard that story.
We put them with someone that I look up to a ton in Vivint, and they went and did well with them, and still look up to that dude a ton. And it was like, that was hard to not be able to take those 2 dudes because I think they would have really liked to be there. And that was our experience. And then we got to Sunrun, where we are now, in their what's called the Block channel, and the Block is like their seasonal program that's being built out. And that was kind of one of the things that I was deciding to go over there to do, was I wanted to go build out the most dominant seasonal program in the solar space, because I hadn't seen one that was like, holy crap, they're unreal at running seasonal the way I know it. Because seasonal is amazing, dude. You go out, you knock for a summer, you have 8 months to do what you want, you kind of work in the off season, you start a podcast, you do all your passion projects, then you go out and you grind. Like, I love that. And like, no, I hadn't seen anyone go and kind of nail it until I got into the world. And I realized there's a lot of people, like Scott Bell is crushing seasonal solar, like dominating, right? And he's with us at Sunrun. He's amazing. And it's just like, dude, it's actually crazy. And I get to that world, and dude, I had never been recruited to Sunrun, never heard of reps doing well at Sunrun. Like, it was like, I felt like it was kind of like one of those small pest companies people like mention. You're like, oh, I've heard that name, but I don't know shit about that. Of course, I'd heard Sunrun a bunch. From like, oh, that's like a big corporate like phone sales company, I think. And then you get there and it's like, dude, they have like, it is insane. And I probably can't say exact numbers. I hope they give me permission to go and post it on Instagram in response to Dallas Lobato. I told him I was going to respond to him.
Oh yeah.
Love Dallas. His content's been awesome. Shout out Dallas. But he posted that Vivint's the only goated company.
Right.
And like, I want to be able to share the data, and I'll make sure I get permission before I do. I can't do it on here, but it's like, dude, people have no idea.
Right.
And like, Vivint's incredible at telling their story outwardly.
Right.
Sunrun's not good at it.
Right.
Like, and one of my jobs is like, I'm gonna go make them good at it. This is part of that. Like, this is
good.
me sharing. Like, bro, no, like, if they ever let me post the numbers, I'll post them. But I will just say, Vivint is a goated company. Right. Not the only goated company.
Fair.
And like, comparing those numbers would blow so many people's minds. Right. It would be insane. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's like, it's been amazing, dude. We went out and we were the top first year region. We did over 1,000 solar installs our first year. And dude, it was insane. Like, my region went out and earned just under, like, again, I don't know if I can say exact numbers on here without permission, but just under, paid out to my guys in that first calendar year, just under 8 figures. And like, that's insane. That was 3 times what we were paid out our best year. And the cooler part to me is I didn't go earn much more money at all. Like, was it worth it? Absolutely. But the cool part was of that big chunk, that pie of commissions that was paid out, I was taking such a small piece of it in comparison, still more than I made before. But now there was so much more for my guys to go around. It's been the funnest 2 years of just like growth. But it's also been like, again, nothing is all perfect. First off, Meraki is not all perfect. If you were to go interview 50 of my guys, you would realize, oh shit, there's some stuff they can work on too that we're working on, right? And there always will be stuff. And then also, like, our opportunity that we're at isn't perfect either. We're like, it's been an opportunity a lot of people worked in that maybe it's not desirable to some people. We're building that shit from the ground up. It's a startup in a juggernaut, and that's a unique problem to have. Right? That's the way I view it. It's
Sunrun or Meraki?
No. The Block program. Okay. So our sales channel is like a brand new sales channel in a massive company. They have another sales channel.
RunX.
It's called The Street. Mm-hmm. RunX runs the Block and The Street. Those are their 2 door-to-door channels. But the Street's massive. They've been around for 15 plus years. It's the Vivint Solar guys from OG days.
Also, like in California.
All over California. Yeah, they crush, right? They do more installs than any other solar company, just their channel. They do 4 times the installs that the Block does right now. And we're doing more than most other companies right now as just a small channel. So it's a brand new channel in a massive publicly traded company. That comes with unique problems, right? The slower pace moving of a massive corporate organization with like the autonomy of a brand new startup has been really fun for me, but also really freaking hard. To everyone's point, like, it's hard, but my reps, like, they don't really feel that. They get to go out for a summer, come back with a ton of feedback, and watch us go make changes and build a program around them. Like, that's been super fun. We just had our launch party for the Block. And
Waka Flocka.
Yeah, I had Waka Flocka come perform. That was crazy. Yep. That was lit.
It was dope.
And then just, like, more importantly, announced some massive changes that were completely brought to our attention by my guys that are on the doors. Yeah. That's freaking sick. That is a startup feel, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have the backing. It's like, dude, like the whole scare. And so I have not been nervous about getting a paycheck in solar a single time since I've been in solar. Mm-hmm. And won't be passed. Right. And the reason I have that confidence isn't necessarily because I know everything, but it's because I do know that, let's say the worst case scenario that everyone's saying, like, there's literally no way. Okay. Sunrun's not. Oh, Siri's going off. Oh, you're good. Sunrun's not a solar company at all. We're a distributed power plant. 100% any way you dice it. We own power on homes that we sell back to the grid. We own all of the equipment, and we sell people power.
And Sunrun's done a massive numbers that would equate, if anything, more than a nuclear power plant, at least from like
They do that every year.
Every year, yeah.
Sunrun has over 1 million active customers in the U.S. right now. 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 5 million residential households with solar on them,
Yep.
and Sunrun's over 1 million of them. And there's a crazy number of those that are fostered accounts from companies that have gone out of business. So
Yep.
Sunrun is like, people don't know that, and I want Sunrun to tell that story better in the door-to-door space.
100%.
Right, but dude, they're not desperate. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
There should be some desperation.
Dude,
And I think that's
that.
your role to do
Yeah,
that.
my role, it's not even desperation. I want to go create, like, bro, let's go compete. Like, let's
100%.
go compete. Not only in how many of our guys make how much money, because not only are we competing there, they're crushing there. They're doing great there. But, like, let's go compete on the way our story is interpreted by everyone, right? Like, that's important to me. And it's been a fun thing to go kind of, like, try and implement and speak out about. And it's been, like, and it's been cool. But the reassurance that I have of, like, oh, because everyone goes and, like, fear sells, and everyone wants it to be the scariest thing. It's like, well, then what are you going to do if they can't pay you? I'm like, Sunrun can't pay you? Like, as big as they are, with as many
Publicly traded company.
with as many customers, they can't pay you. For what reason? At what point? Even though they haven't been doing loans forever, they anticipated that and
Right.
fixed it 5 years prior. Like, what problem is going to sneak up on them? Because it seems like they're ahead of all of them. Anyways, but even if it does, like, if someone could sell me fear, even though I'm clearly drinking the Kool-Aid, you could say, even if it, guess what? We can sell anything.
Yeah.
Like, Meraki we can go sell anything, right? And, like, that's my job to know that we're selling the thing that makes it's the best situation for my guys.
Right.
Right? Or to know to the best of my ability. And, like, there are massive frustrations. There are massive, like, challenges. There are massive uphill battles. And I still say the same thing to my guys that I did at Vivint, and I still mean it. If all of a sudden Sunrun weren't the best place for my guys to go and make money, I just wouldn't be there. Now, if I go get a frustration, do I let that turn into something that I let overtake me and then I got to leave Sunrun? It's all, no. Like, I understand there's frustrations, and anywhere you go, you're just trading your frustrations, and I understood that coming into it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's been some surprise frustrations, like there probably always will be.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I scrape past all of my emotional whatever and how hard it is for me, and when I stop thinking about me, I'm really confident.
100%.
So that's my story, and that's the move from Vivint to Sunrun, with also a lot of reasoning behind it. And I guess kind of pleading my case of, like, dude, this is why I chose to go be there, without, I think, being too aggressive or too any of that. And it's like, dude, and none of that is to go say that everything else isn't also a good opportunity.
And to be honest, just the organizer, appreciate you for sharing this. It's like, me and Kais happen to be over at Vivint. And, like, the thing is, like, what I think is super important is to be able to have these conversations, right? Which I think that a lot of people in the industry are able to have this conversation. It just gets awkward and all that shit. But I don't fuck with any of that shit, honestly. It's like, if you're mature enough and you understand this is just a business and it's every single person that is involved, if you're a rep and you treat it like a business, you can have these conversations. And at the end of the day, like, one of the biggest things, we know that solar's not dead, okay? Solar's not dead, and even with, like, the whole tax credit that's coming up, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We know with, like, the whole, like, AI race with China, and, like, it does make a lot of sense that it'd be something where it'd be beneficial.
There's a conspiracy theory that my mind has. I think I've shared with you a little bit.
I know,
I have my very strong core beliefs of just, hey, I can back this with so much data.
Yeah.
And then I have, like, this conspiracy theory view of Sunrun that actually also is backed by a lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not me making up, like, this crazy outlandish idea. It's like, dude, there is an energy crisis. People will need more power. We need more power to be able to go and develop AI. Like, these are just very basic ass
100%.
things. And you can ask ChatGPT. You don't even have to ask me. Ask ChatGPT what the solution is and who's capable of producing the solution. And it literally says Sunrun.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, if that were to happen and then Sunrun, people were to realize that Sunrun's a decentralized power plant, not a solar company.
Right.
We vend batteries and power that Sunrun owns. That's not a solar company. That is a power plant.
Yep.
Direct-to-consumer power plant. And once people can, like, catch that and see the predicament that the nation's going to be, like, dude, that's where it gets crazy exciting.
Yeah, and we can't lie about that, bro. It's
You can't ignore it.
No.
But that's not meaning that pest control is not going to be badass to sell, or there's not going to be some crazy new development in it that can make it a really good opportunity, or that Vivint isn't an amazing product that everyone needs. It's not to take away from anyone, but it is to go say, hey, don't be naive, but also don't let all of that information go and distort your view to think there's a different route to that. Like, there's a reason I chose Sunrun over any company, or even starting a dealer or something in that world. It's because, dude, they have been doing the right thing for so many years that when the opportunity presents itself to capitalize, no one else will have the capability. No one else, like, it's crazy. That enters kind of my you could get into my conspiracy theory, people could laugh at me, whatever, but it's like I'd be pretty confident kind of saying that in front of anyone.
Yeah.
Or asking questions to someone who's more educated than me. But it's really cool, dude. And Mary Powell's a gangster. Like, Paul Dixon's a gangster. Ty Williams is incredible. He's like, these are Vivint OGs.
Yeah.
Like, Ty Williams was a killer at Vivint. So was Jordan Williams. Like, and they're all here, and like, they have all the respect in the world for Vivint. It's like I agree with you that the industry, and it's a big reason why on my podcast I brought everyone on. I brought the pest control owners. I brought solar reps. I brought anyone and everyone onto the podcast that I thought in this space people needed to hear from, because there's a lot of good people in a lot of different industries. I have my bias. I always have.
Yeah.
Right? And my bias for a long time was always Vivint. Right? But at the same time, it's like I think the industry lacks that a lot.
100%.
And that's why the second I get invited to this, I move my schedule around to make this work. It's a priority to me. It's not like, I'll do it for you. It's like, no, dude, the industry needs this type of stuff.
100%.
I hate ignorance, bro. And I think, like, if it was a thing where this industry was placed in the matter of, like, okay, look, this is exactly how it's going over here. This is how it's going, like, over here. This is how it's going over here. And, like, the approach with recruiting, it's like, look, dude, this is happening over here. Sure, you can go over here. You can go over here. You can go over, sell over at the grit, right? It's just a matter of, like, looking at the correct vehicle where you're going to be waking up every day, the type of people that you want to merge with, and the guys that you want to go out there and fight and kill in order for you to obtain the goals that you have. Because, like, the thing is that I don't like I always live my life by, like, not living by, like, what people tell me, right? Yeah. And I don't like
You're
when
just
people,
a little
yeah, dude. And the thing is, it's
100%.
like one of the biggest things that you've told me, bro, is never focus on the noise, focus on the frequency. And, like, I don't like when people tell me, like, yo, dude, this shit's clapped, yo, bro, like, this thing is, like, dead. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take what you're saying, but, like, I'm gonna go hear how it is. And it's like, I would appreciate farther more to hear that, and to also, like, know, like, the truth about something, and I'll stick it out. Like, for me, honestly, I truly believe that for my guys, Vivint is the place to be. Do I think that, like, Sunrun is doing everything? 110%. Do I think it's a great opportunity? 100%. Do I think that going out there and actually trying to develop, like, a Meraki squad or, like, a Polite squad over at the grid would be a great idea? I don't think it is at all. I don't think that my guys would be able to get paid out the way that it would go over at, like, a place where there happens to be, like, a lot of like, cash flow coming in, like, for an example, like
Savage,
Vivint.
just throwing a freaking stray to the.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm nothing against the fucking grip. I'm gonna be straight up, bro. Like, if I have Kais Bader, if Kais Bader came up to me, he's like, bro, I don't care about recruiting. I want to go out there and just, like, go out there and sell. I'm like, all right, perfect. Sam Tagger's your fucking best friend. Go out there and get a golden fucking door, and you'll get paid a lot. Can you do the same thing at Vivint? Yes, you can. Can you make that more money to higher ticket? 100%.
I love
It's just a matter of being able to understand what are you trying to do, what are you trying to obtain, and what vehicle will be able to take you there, right? 100%. And the thing is, like, with Vivint, it is a great place. A lot of people like to talk shit about it, but again, it is a great place. You can do a lot of things, a lot of benefits, right? You get, like, all the paid trips, all this different stuff doesn't come out of your fucking thing. When you're over at the grit or any pest control, it has to come out of you, right? It's like there's a lot of incentives that come into place. You just have to understand what the fuck's going on.
Yep.
Like, for me personally, will I go sell over at New Sun? Nothing against Jordan Bidding. I don't want to work at fucking New Sun, and, like, the way that it's going, I'm not going to bring my guys and go have them be setters, in my personal opinion. Like, I don't want to do that, even though, like, they say, like, everybody can get paid. It's just, like, it's different fucking avenues, different things. I want to have a group. I want my guys to be taken care of. He happens a guy named Andrew Castro. Absolute G. Has he having, like, a really rough time with getting it to figure out? Yes, but does he have that fire? Will I be able to give the opportunity for him and Andrew? 100%. And it's just like, that is the true thing of being able to live by. I'm not trying to live in a place where, because again, like, to even take the conversation back, which I want to get more light on this, you would have never been able to take your guys over to Sunrun if your guys didn't absolutely believe in you, bro.
Trust you.
Yeah, you did 26 accounts your first year, you did 100 and some, and the second year you weren't even paying attention to like really leading them. You're really focusing on your sales. I'm sure you were doing it simultaneously at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like this thing where, like, you were not working backwards, you were working the correct way, setting the expectations of what the fuck Meraki is about. And then all these guys are believing in you. It's like, bro, whenever I talk to people in Meraki, like, they fuck with you, dude, and you show up. And that is something that, like, everybody appreciates, bro. Like, that's what the fuck you need. Like, if I were to go over to Polite, and I'll say this so fucking straight up, I can't say confidently right now, just based on the stuff that I've had my past year. Like, for an example, my first year, when it was top rookie, sick, right? Was able to monetize that. Boom, blowing up on Instagram. Kais Bader comes through. Did I show up for Kais Bader my sophomore year? No, I did not. And I'll say that straight up on the fucking pod because I'm owning up to that. I didn't show up for my guys. And I know that Kais, I mean, he doesn't like to say this, but like daddy issues. Because like I was fucking the guy. I was his fucking hero. And then next you know, I'm not showing up 110%. I didn't know how to fucking lead 33 fucking guys. Lost guys here. Went to a tough market, et cetera, et cetera. Now what I have to do is I have to show up 10 fucking times further for Kais to be able to re-earn that fucking label, right? I don't think Kais, and I'll say this straight up, because I think this is like the raw shit that everybody needs to hear. Kais doesn't consider me as his upline. Straight up, I'll say it up here, right? And the reason for it is because I happen to lack as far as showing up for him. And I know that Ollie Sultan, shout out to Ollie Sultan, he does look at him as his leader, and that's something I need to step up for. But it's like, dude, at the end of the day, it's like, where is the correct vehicle? Fuck saying that solar's dead. We can't say that, bro. There's people that are making money doing it. Mm-hmm. But just bringing real light to what the fuck is going on and what are you trying to do? Because at the end of the day, it's like who's going to be sleeping at the bed and going to sleep alone with his own dreams, waking up with his own fucking experience? It's just you. Mm-hmm. So if you want to live in this place where you're just like trying to live by what your manager's saying, oh yeah, the grit's dope, like all this stuff. I'm not trying to talk shit about the grit. I'm just trying to say an example of like, let's not try to live like this whole concept where you're just living by what another person's saying and stop thinking about this industry like I'm just a sales rep. No, every single fucking rookie that's coming into this industry, you need to start looking at it as if it's a business. I understand that you're trying to set the playing field of trying to get your feet wet with like sales, and that's great, but you should also have the mindset where like this is a business. I am being recruited, but I can do the same thing that my upline is, and if it's something where you can't, shout out the fucking pest control where you can't really like grow like that, to be honest with you. Let's be fucking real here. I don't give a fuck. Like, let's be real. Like, that's not a place you need to go. You need to go find another avenue. But to go back into the conversation, right? You did set the plane for your second year. When do you feel like was the moment where you were like, okay, like you're starting to develop like this aura of like real leadership? Like, what are some things about like leadership that you can spread upon us, upon like your place of being able to be the fastest growing regional at such a young age, bro? Because like, let's be real here. 1,500 accounts to do at Vivint is hard. 5,000 accounts to do at Vivint, you have to have a fucking dialed fucking program to be able to get there. Like, just give us some like light on how that happened. Yeah. What are the things you were doing with your reps, et cetera, to even get to that point where you were like, oh, we're going to the Sun Run, and they're all like, we're going fucking with Zaw.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
Yeah. Like,
sorry for that tangent, boys.
Tangent. Hey, also, shout out all my boys at Cell Pest Control. I have a different opinion than Mr. Nor, but obviously I have my biases, best place to work. And the grit of the companies out there, I haven't seen somebody come in and take over with a brand like the grit ever. So
dope marketing. Hey, we're not talking shit about the. I'm just saying.
Give flowers. You gotta give flowers.
I give props about. I love their fucking headquarters, bro.
Ben is a genius. Garth is a genius. John's a genius. And like there's a lot of dogs over there for real. So they're doing something right.
We're not talking shit.
That's the other thing is to look at and learn. Like, okay, why do they have someone as good as Zach Seeger then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. If what you're saying in your opinion is the opportunity's not there, why? And that's because typically, when we get so jaded by the way that we look at things, we don't look at everything. We start to just look at some of the things. And I'm not here to go and pitch that pest control is the best opportunity door-to-door. That'd be silly of me, just like it'd be silly of me to pitch that Vivint is. The only thing that would make any sense for me to pitch is what I'm doing, right? I'm not here to pitch anything. I'm just here to say, like, on your tangent, and then I'll go in to answer your question. Is just like, dude, they're doing something. And if you choose to look at all of it, maybe you'll learn something rather than think you know enough and not learn anything from
100%.
it. So that would be like my one thing. So shout out to those boys and
shout out to Active, shout out to the Grid, shout out to Cox, shout out to
all love.
Hey, we're not hating. So don't clip this and put this on your story. Like, oh, no, don't do any of that shit. We love all
you. He kind of was hating, but now we fixed it. So now you can't clip it.
Clip that shit.
You know what? Fuck the Grid. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
So as far as like what I did, and to be clear, when I should clear this up too and make sure it's just clear as day. I chose to go resign from Vivint and go to Sunrun. All my guys found out that I had done that, and they all made their own decisions of what to do. It was very like, that was literally the situation. It was fun. It was cool. It was super, like, it felt really good, obviously, to know, like, dang, my guys just have my back. Like, we're just a family.
And how many guys were they?
Right when we're just over 115.
It's a lot of guys.
Yeah, and every single one except the 2 with the background check. It was really cool. And it was like, and part of me was seeing other regionals that had left where their whole group didn't come. And I was like, dude, what did you do wrong to like not have, like, as long as this opportunities is good, like, what did you do wrong? Because to me, the people I work with has always been one of the most important things. And like, that piece of it to me is almost as important as the vehicle, right? Like the vehicle is more important, yeah, but the people you work with is almost as important because that's where that's who you get to grow up to become. Yeah. When I say grow up, I don't mean you're gonna now be an adult and be them. I'm saying no, you're gonna grow up in the industry with a very, very similar like legacy as them because you're only gonna learn from them, right? So it's been really cool to have a second set of like high up leadership to go and learn from. Like it's been really cool, but. What I did along the way, I would say it was a lot of little actions done consistently for a brain-numbingly long time. Like you want to go and build trust. You earn trust in drops and you lose it in buckets, which means your little actions that your people are always watching have to go and reinforce their trust in you and never hurt their trust in you. Otherwise, you don't realize one day if you stop knocking 10 minutes early takes away 3 months straight of you knocking till 9:15. In the trust equation. Yeah. Like you have to be so aware of that to your people, you're a freaking superhero. And dude, I've gotten the opportunity to work with Sherry Ali recently. I have to give him a shout out on here.
Absolute dog. We're going to have her on the pod soon.
Sherry's like one of the goats for sure. And we're super different. Me and Sherry are very different. But like I've like grown to love him and also grown to learn a lot from him because he came up with totally different leaders than I did. With totally different strengths than I had. And like one thing he always says is like, and I've like, the phrase makes perfect sense to me. I never had a good way of putting it into words is you have to be a superhero to your people. Like you don't want to go party with all of your people because then all of your people see you in a really vulnerable state. And it's not saying don't be vulnerable and you got to put on a face and a mask, but it's saying no, be the best you, the best authentic you anytime they see you. Like don't do that for 5 years straight. Go look at how much trust you have with people, right? And then the thing that I think is like probably, I guess I'll start from the top and say the umbrella that goes over all of my actions is a quote from Todd Peterson, and it's something that's like very, very, very important to me. It's the most important thing is treat your people like gold. If you take care of your people, you'll always be taken care of. The second you try and take care of yourself, you're screwed. Like treat your people like gold. So all the decisions that I make are as best as I can, and I'm also, by the way, not perfect and have messed this up so many times. But like I try and use it as like a northern star that when I get off course, like just remember that. And I have moments of weakness, right? Like the time when I saw the pay at Solar and I was like, ignore it. That's a moment of weakness for sure. And then I got back to my North Star. And that has impacted a lot of different decisions and little things that I do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like when you're asking as a leader, what do you do to go do that you're talking about trust is all you're talking about. All you're talking about is my guys trust me. And they trust me when I look them in their eyes and I say, I will always be at the best opportunity for you. And they trust me when I say, hey, I'm pretty damn educated about this. I've spent my time learning about it. This is what it looks like. Here's the good and the bad. I'm giving you everything. What do you think? They know that I'm not giving them filtered information for my own bias. They know that because and that's what we're talking about is trust right here. The way you build trust is let your people see you be honest so many times that it would be irrational for you to be dishonest. And people don't get that. Your integrity, like I could go down like a rabbit hole on this. Like your integrity is everything. And if you don't think it's everything, when things get really hard, you're going to realize it's everything because your integrity is your link to everybody else. And it's the strength of your link to everybody else around you. And anytime you're out of integrity, that doesn't mean it's good or bad, right? But anytime you're out of integrity, you have to restore your integrity. So when you mess up, you got to own that shit. You have to be so deliberate to never play on your people's ignorance. It's hard. Like you got to be so deliberate to try and give the full picture. You got to be so deliberate to try and be honest. You got to be so deliberate to act honestly to your people every day because you have so much bias. So it's so easy to act out of bias, not out of integrity, right? And you can't even hate anyone for it, dude. It's like if you could avoid a hard conversation by just kind of making something seem better than it is, why not do that, right? And I'm not talking about delivery or any of that. I'm talking about just deliberate, like, dude, you're saying things that you know aren't true to your people, and they notice that so strong. It's not fast, but it's strong. They notice it over time if you're not so honest that it would be weird for you to be dishonest, you're not honest enough, right? If they're like, dude, I never freaking know what that guy, like my leader, like he's a dog, he's nice, he's super cool, but like he always kind of I think says whatever he thinks I want to hear.
Right. Yeah.
That's not a way to build trust.
No.
So like all the things that I do as a manager, there's a lot of other things that go build trust. Like a lot of other things that go build trust. Time with someone is one of the best ways to build trust. Questions is a way to build trust. Following through on what you say you're going to do is a way to build trust. Always offering a hand to help builds trust, right? And the quickest way to lose trust, because you lose it in buckets and you gain it in drops, is go be out of integrity. That doesn't even mean dishonest. It means out of integrity. Go say you're going to do something and then don't do it, right? Go say something that you know in the back of your head is actually just a really biased opinion that you're trying to say as a fact. Now, you can share your biased opinions, but make sure they know it's a biased opinion. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Don't go out and try and say something is what it is when you know damn well that's not what it is, or you're uninformed to the point to say that it is what it is. You just don't have enough information, because that'll lose you trust. And then at that point, it's like, dude, then just go be so damn valuable to your people, build trust, and give value that they couldn't imagine doing it without doing it with you.
So quick question for you, Zaw. How long were you at Vivint for? 5 years?
7.
So you're at 7 years. So 7 years, obviously there had to be some mistakes that you've made. Like, was there ever a point in your career where, like, there was, like, a point where maybe that whole thing, like the thing that you put out with your guys of just being there and the trust? Because we all know that the main trust that comes within this is obviously being in the trenches with your guys, right?
Yep.
And the main way that you get respect from your guys is obviously selling. That's like 110%.
Yep.
Was there ever a point where you kind of fell off from that? And what was like the thing that you were able to regain that trust?
Yeah, there was a lot of micro moments, and then there were some macro moments. And like there was a lot of days where I had moments of weakness, or I had a day where I like let my mental slip or whatever. But like the reason they stayed micro is because I had a list of things that I didn't deviate from. I had a list of things that no matter what my day was like, I did. And my guys all knew what that list was, and they knew I did it every day because they watched me do it every day.
And what was that list, if you don't mind me asking, and like how did you pivot away from it and be able to regain that? Like,
yeah, so the macro examples, the way you prevent it from becoming or micro and prevent it from becoming a big problem, basically is what I'm saying, and keep it as like just a moment of weakness rather than a big problem or like a way to lose trust, is being consistent in your bare minimums and your standards, and having standards that your guys know and having them see you follow through. So those can be anything. Like my list was a lot of different things, but one of them was I'm the first rep in market, I'm the last rep to leave. If anyone extends, I'm there with you. Period. I don't want to extend. I don't have to extend. If you extend, I'm there with you. Right? The latest day I've ever knocked in a summer without going home was it was October 30th, and it was the first time I ever left a rep in market because he wanted to knock on Halloween and I didn't. Right? And then he came home the next day. He thought it would be funny to knock on Halloween. Right? That was the only time when I was running the office and I was the guy. Now, obviously, as I transitioned out, my guys ran extensions, my guys did all these things. But when I was the guy and we were doing 2,200 and we were doing 4,000 as an office, and we had PRAs that were like, I had never thought we could achieve. Like, it was legitimately, I had a list of things they saw me do every day. I was the first person out there. I was the last person to leave. I was the one rushing us from the gas station. We did not spend more than 15 minutes at a gas. We love gas stations in my group. It's ritual. We do it before the doors every day.
Mandatory.
Right, it's mandatory, straight up. And like I was like, no one lingered. No one ate lunch at a gas station when I ran an office because it was 15 minutes. We're out of here. Right. I was the first person on the doors of all the car group leaders. I was the last person to pick my car group up. I would always go to a late deal. I would always get a late deal. I always knocked past dark. I always sent pictures. I was the most active in the group chat. Like, I was the perfect rep.
Damn.
That's how you go earn respect. Go be the perfect rep for so long that your people have this example of what they could be. It's like, and it's exhausting. Like, dude, I got stress-induced shingles as a 19-year-old kid running an extension. Stress-induced shingles. Like, that's not supposed to happen until you're like 65.
What's that?
Shingles is it attacks your nervous system if your stress levels get too high, or when you're older, it's a compromised immune system can happen. It attacks a strain of nerves, and it creates boils on your skin in that strain of nerves. And the boils are like, it's like the worst body aches you've ever felt in your life. You're supposed to be in bed on medicine for a few days. And I was so stressed. I get shingles. My whole body hurts. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, I'm not eating. I'm drinking so many energy drinks. I'm not taking care of myself because I'm the perfect rep. Like, that means I sleep 4 hours. That means I sleep 4 hours. And I was also trying to be the perfect manager, which is a different thing to do at 19. And I'm in the hospital, like, you have shingles. I'm like, what? I've never even heard of shingles. It was the same thing. What is shingles?
Yeah.
And they explain it, and they bring in 3 other doctors to look at me because I'm like this young kid, supposed to be healthy.
Sounds harsh.
And it's like the most painful feeling ever in your body. Anyone who has had shingles, I promise you can attest this. You're driving, you hit like a little bump in the road, and like that movement of your body feels like your entire body's on fire. Like it's like imagine fever, body aches, and like that hurts over your entire body in the craziest way. So they give me these crazy pain meds. And like I remember like this is one of those times where I think I built trust with my people. Crazy pain meds. I'm in bed. I send an update to my 5 guys that are extending. It's a tiny bomb squad. I lay in my bed. It's 3 p.m. I take these pain meds. It's my first day I have taken off on the doors, period. It doesn't matter how sick I am. I don't take days off. And again, I'm not recommending this, but this is how I built a lot of trust.
Fair play.
Right? And I'm laying in bed. I take the pain meds, and dude, something happens. I probably got uncomfortable. I wake up. It's like 5:15 p.m. We're in Sikeston, Missouri in an Airbnb. And I look at the mobile report, and no one's gotten a deal. And I'm like, I'm the only vet. They're all rookies. Like, I'm the manager. Like, I'm there to try and help these 4 other dudes go hit their goals.
In September.
In September. And it's like this crazy pressure. And like, dude, I have like a panic attack in my bed. Like, dude, they're going to bagel. And I'm so high. I don't even know what pain meds they gave me. But I'm like, I am not there. And I can tell you I'm not there because I don't remember anything past this moment. Past this like panic attack. Blackout. No clue what happened. Wake up the next day, I had gone out in the neighborhood in my slides and my t-shirt or my wife beater, and I had sold some random lady who works nights that was also half asleep, took a selfie with her, posted on the mobile, and I was the only person who got a deal the day before.
What the fuck?
And like all my guys are like, yo, did you knock yesterday? And I'm like having like little flashes of like, yeah, I was out, and then I don't know what I was doing in the neighborhood, and then I go look at I look at the mobile report, look at my camera roll, she's installed next door. Like our technicians left our basement, drove over there, installed it, then went back to our basement.
Holy fuck.
Like I have this selfie where I look like I'm on drugs. Like I don't have a hat on, I don't have a uniform on.
Do you have that picture still?
Yeah, I do. Don't have anything. She's got her cute little bonnet on her head. Like she's this cute little lady, and she's stoked. Like I even went and checked in on her the next day to make sure like she's like, dude, I freaking love this thing. And dude, apparently I explained everything really well. Loan, everything. She was stoked. But like things like that, like you just have to be a perfect rep. And it's really interesting now, like kind of part of my identity has always been like, I'll go be the top rep. You're going to be more talented than me, but I'll go longer than you. And I had reps in my office that were more talented than me. They were, and it created friction because like I'm better than, it was like hyper competitive. And I'm like, dude, I run marathons, and no one ever ended the summer with more numbers than me ever. Like that was like a massively apparent thing in my group. I was always the best rep. So now in my position, not getting to do that, it's been really weird. I have to find different ways to go provide value, right? But it's been super exciting and super fun. But the thing is it's like, you go ask any of my guys who did 7 summers with me, anything I ever ask them or have asked them or will ask them to do, I've done it 10 times harder, right? And some of them are getting to the point where they've done a lot of what I've already done too. So I'm not talking about them, but all these new guys that are coming in, I'm like, dude, you got to blitz every blitz you got to be on. It's like, dude, I ran 10-day blitzes every single offseason, ran the #1 blitzing office. Like that was our identity. We go hard in the preseason so that when we get to summer, we have a head start.
Yeah.
And then we go finish an extension if we have to. You can't touch us because we will just work longer than you, right? And we're not the most talented. We don't have all the best reps. I'm not the best recruiter because I'm not willing to inflate things. I lose a lot of recruits in recruiting battles. Like there's a lot of things we're not the best at, but dude, we're just willing to go outwork people, and it's because that was the identity that I took on, and that was the identity that I kind of injected into the group, and that builds trust as well.
And when point of your career at Vivint did you like make the decision that this is what I'm gonna do?
Right after I made 6 figures. Like that was, I made a 5-year plan the year I made 6 figures. So I'm like, dude, if you can make more than I've ever seen my family make in 6 months of work, and that was actually really fun for me, and I can let other people do it too, like my homies can do it too. Like what else do I need to do?
Why wouldn't you do it?
And thank God I had like a rookie mindset, and that was how I looked at it, because it made me put my head down for 5 years. Thank God for that. I think too many people in the industry think they're way smarter than they are. They think they're way better than they are. They think they need to go start their whatever right now. Like, homie, go develop yourself into a freaking man until you're 30. Set yourself up financially forever. Build an empire under you just in case. Have fun while doing it. And then, yeah, you want to go do your thing, like your life calling when you're 31, go do it. Like, hell yeah, go do it, right? Chances are you're going to go and notice, like, dude, actually, like, my passion can be whatever I'm passionate about. Does that make sense?
100%.
Like, you go do something enough and give it enough of yourself, you're going to get passionate about it. I didn't grow up passionate about knocking doors and training reps and recruiting in the Valley and like this whole door-to-door thing. I didn't grow up passionate about doorbell cameras and security. I didn't grow up passionate about solar. Like, no. Like, I wanted to make videos or DJ parties.
So that's a question for you. Obviously, like, I love to songwrite. I love to, like, make content. I love to do all these things. Like, how are you, not even like how are you able to balance it, but like how are you able to like go out there and do like 300 accounts with reps underneath you and like being able to put your head down all the way through and being able to not get FOMO on the thing that you love so much?
Yeah, it's a weird amount of like, it's understanding their seasons in life. I am so hyper aware because of Casey Baugh that I'm hyper aware that there's seasons in my life. And there's seasons in a zoomed in scale, week by week, month by month, seasons when my mental health is incredible, seasons where it's not quite as good or not where I want it, seasons where we're crushing, seasons where we're kind of in like, okay, we got to freaking link arms and survive this, boys. There's going to be seasons of complete domination and seasons of rebuilding, and there's going to be seasons of insane work and seasons of chill at the beach, and there's going to be seasons of hyper-focused energy into one thing that might not be the most appealing thing right then, but it's going to open up so much more for me later in a different season. Like, I understand that there's seasons. And I really believe that God, or whatever you believe in, like God taught us all the lessons you need to know about success and fulfillment in nature. I really, really believe that. The law of the harvest is so real, right? Like, understanding the abundance that's out there is so real. Understanding there's a push and a pull in everything. Understanding that there are seasons that are meant to be there. Some are harder or less pleasant than others, and some are the best. But if you had summer all year round, you're hot and sweaty, you'd crave a winter. Does that make sense?
100%.
Like, you'd crave it. And if you had winter all year round, you'd crave a summer. And even sometimes, even though you only have a winter for 3 months, you still crave summer during winter. But learning to be okay with the season you're in and realizing what it is, that's where I'm like, when you're asking how do I go shelf all my passions, it's like, first off, if you ever have the option to say and, not or, then do it. And like you love music, homie. You don't need to write music 6 hours a day, 12 months out of the year, every day to be into music and be able to fulfill that passion. Like,
Fair.
frankly, you actually have more free time than most striving musicians because they have a full-time job to be able to pay to be able to be a musician.
True.
Until they make it. So you actually have more time than them to go and dabble. Like, that's
true.
what's so unique about our opportunity. But I also would understand, like, for my goals, the way that I'm aligned, like, I've got some really big dreams to go and do that are not profitable and they're not in door-to-door. In order to do them, I'm in a season where I need to go make a lot of money. I need to have massive impact. And if I can also be fulfilled while I do that, realizing that, yeah, when I'm 45 years old, I might actually do something else that I'm really excited to do. But I'm going to do it knowing that my passive income supports my entire life. I've grown up a lot as a person. I have an incredible network of people who respect me and have seen me operate honestly throughout my whole career. I've done some really hard things. I have an amazing financial base. I have freedom of time to be able to be a good dad and be the dad that I want to be. If that takes me a season of shelving, quote unquote, like my passions,
You're going to do it.
okay, like, great. Actually, those things I just talked about are ultimately what I'm going to be passionate about when I'm laying on my deathbed about to die. Those are the things that I'm going to be passionate about, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be glad I did them. Of course, I have hobbies and other things that I want to go and do, and also other ventures that I want to get into. But it's like, dude, in order to go operate in this world at a really high level, you have to have a very healthy relationship with seasons.
Fair.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think more often than not, people think seasons should be shorter than they should be. So they try and cut seasons short. And you don't, like, imagine if you got somewhere in the winter, right? And this is olden days. Like, again, God teaches us everything. Imagine if you got somewhere in the winter and it's like, fuck, it's freezing, but don't worry, I know there's seasons, right? The spring comes, you're like, oh, it's thawing out, this is amazing. You plant all your seeds, you're like, dude, this is going to be the start of a new life. We're going to freaking reap the rewards. Then spring's kind of long. You're like, damn, we planted these forever ago, nothing's happened. Then summer comes, you're like, yeah, dude, of course we wanted to be here, and of course we know about seasons, but like, dude, this is just like, we're broke as shit. It's hot as hell. We don't have anything we want. And then you bounce midsummer, right, to a different opportunity per se in this situation, or a different area to go plant your crops there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fall comes, all your crops sprout, and you don't go harvest. And it's like, what happened? You just cut your seasons too short.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened. Does that make sense? 100%. So it's like, I would say that. That's what I would say.
So I want to actually give a little nugget for everybody. I actually want to know this. Is like, the big thing about polite is being like a person that's living by the thing they want to do, effortlessly doing it because they're living by their spirit and merging with just that, which obviously you're literally fucking polite as fuck, G. All right, so give me one timer for that one.
That is polite, bro.
So one thing I do want to bring light to everybody is like, so while you're going and chasing the bag, while you're going and leading from the front, while all your guys are believing you, while you're developing Meraki, while you're doing all this stuff, at a certain point, like, for what polite represents is like, there's a word in Arabic. It means zeleme. Okay, zeleme just means man, but the real meaning of it is like a man that can actually like handle some shit, like some real stuff, which we don't see any of that today, to be honest with you. And like
often, you don't see too much of that often.
You don't.
But you see it.
And you see it like from a lot of girls saying like, yeah, I want a real man that takes care of him. And then a lot of that doesn't like really exist. But like for you, how old are you right now?
26.
26. Cool. So like where did your girl come into the play? How did you know that, like, because that's something a lot of people like can become like a fall of them. You know what I mean? Like I was able to get into a relationship during the summer and it wasn't really for me, but like how did you know like that was something that was good for you? Did it like affect your sales? Like was it something that was able to like, because again, if you have like the right woman by your side, especially if you're in sales, you're trying to build like this crazy empire, it can like 10x by like 1 million.
Yeah.
So like what was like for you, like how you knew like your girl was like the one, because obviously you guys just got engaged, right?
Got engaged about a year ago. We'll be married this year, yeah.
Super. Oh, right, bro.
Yeah,
You guys just got married?
No, we'll be married this year.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So like for something like that is obviously something that we're trying to do, because again, bro, like we're trying to make money. Money's not the end all of everything, right? Something that definitely want to have like children, all this stuff. Like for you, like how did you like know, like what are the things that guys that are watching this or in sales like would know, like okay, this is a really good girl, like how to like be able to funnel that, how to be able to like know?
Like you asked me 2 questions in there. One of them was tell me about your girl, your guys' situation, how that came to be.
Yeah.
And then the other one was how do you know it's the right girl, basically, right? And I have thoughts on both. How do you know it's the right girl? Like that's a question only you can answer truly. But like some guiding principles to when you're looking at someone as like a compatible partner, in my opinion. And I have a strong opinion because I believe it's one of the most important decisions you make. And I've seen it make and break people, right? The people they choose to go and kind of give their heart to. So like, how you know it's the right girl, like that's intuition, brother. Like
sure.
That's you go use intuition, but some guiding principles are like, dude, make sure your values are aligned. Make sure she understands exactly who you are, exactly the way you see the world, exactly what you want to get out of the world, and make sure she's okay with it. Even like the kind of like shitty parts of it.
Fair.
Right? Otherwise, you're doing exactly what people do in door to door, and you're selling her something without any of the problems.
Fair.
Does that make sense? And sometimes, like, it's not natural to just go have a conversation, lay it all out. That wouldn't be natural. It's more natural to live with them for 4 seasons, see them through winter, spring, summer, and fall, do some really hard things with them, be with them still when they go through a really hard trial and you go through a really hard trial. Like, that's the stuff that solidifies the belief of this is the right girl. But, like, to be able to even enter that conversation in my mind is like, dude, do we align with our values? Like, is she someone that I feel like would support me whether I'm successful or I'm a failure? Is she somebody who will pick me up if I get rocked? And is she somebody that I just freaking love hanging out with? Because at the end of the day, like, you're probably going to be married to 10 to 15 different versions of the girl you choose to marry, and she'll probably be married to 10 to 15 different versions of you, right? And some of those versions you might like a lot better than other versions, and some of the versions of you she might like a lot better than other versions. But if you like spending time together and you have those conversations before and you know that's somebody where when shit gets really hard for you as a guy, because it's going to, regardless of what anybody says, it's really hard to be a guy sometimes with the way we're wired, and like especially with social media and the things we got to go try and live up to, like life will get really hard. Make sure somebody's there. It's like, no, they see you for who you are and they're going to rock with you. That's how you know who. Now, how I came about like my girl and how things have worked so far for us, like, dude, I think another very important principle in life is realizing that anytime you say yes to something, you say no to something else.
Fair.
Anytime. And I had a girlfriend prior that I probably wasn't the best boyfriend to, but not even just my girlfriend, in all areas of my life because of work and the way I just explained that I approached it and why I said I don't necessarily recommend this, but this is how I did it, is it took everything I had to go accomplish what I've accomplished in this space. Like, I have probably gone too far. If there's a pendulum, I probably swung too far on the side of like it became my identity, it became everything for me, it became like it determined my happiness, like a lot of things. Like I got too far. And in my past relationships, like I was always saying no to a really deep, good, meaningful relationship, or being honest, or being present, or working on myself in that sense, because I was so focused on becoming a better salesman, a better leader, a better regional, doing the things, doing the interviews. Dude, I was working every day, all day, whatever I could do. If I wasn't working, I was reading about how to do better at my work. Right? And I was saying no to a lot of other things. And now, like, my fiance now, she's awesome. She's the coolest person I've ever met. I've known her since I was 14 years old. We were best friends through high school. We both had serious relationships out of high school, and then we kind of rekindled our relationship after that, and we've been dating for almost 4 years now, which is crazy. and she's like the coolest ever, right? But I think I've also done a lot better of like, dude, I'm like saying no to some things. Like, yeah, maybe Meraki could have done 5% more volume if I would have spent twice the time recruiting or whatever, right? And the thing is that I've learned is when I'm saying no to work things, I'm not saying no to my goals at work. And that's the thing people don't understand. I'm now saying yes to my relationship and making it a big priority. And we just went to this Tony Robbins relationship event. It was the coolest thing I've ever done with Simone. It was awesome. And I'm saying yes to my relationship. And although I'm saying no to certain work things, weirdly enough, I'm not saying no to any of my work goals. I'm finding different ways to accomplish the same thing in less time. I'm multiplying myself. I'm developing people, right? Because of all of my requirements at work and everything I have to do, I can't commit to being the best person to run our Tuesday night trainings, even though that's what I did for 7 years. Mm-hmm. I'm very confident. I know how to do it. I simply, if corporate puts a meeting on my schedule, I can't run the TNT. I can't have everyone depending on me, and then if I cancel, it cancels.
And you guys rekindled when you went over to, like, you guys got together when you went over
when
to
I was still at Vivint.
You were still at Vivint?
Yeah, she went with me my last summer at Vivint.
And you didn't have, like, was it something, was that year, like, did your production ever have to go down? Or was it something?
So that year was my first traveling year. That was my first year as, like, a traveling regional. Didn't have to sell. But my guarantee to my guys was I sell 1 account a day, period. I don't bagel, and I did that every single day.
So do you feel like, that's so fucking sick.
So if I drove from North Carolina to Macon, I sold an account in Macon that night. I don't bagel. I did not bagel.
So do you feel, that's fucking dope, bro. Holy fuck.
Fucking awesome.
So do you,
you know what's even crazier?
Hit me.
Sherry hasn't bageled in solar a single day.
No
I forgot
way.
at my award ceremony, I forgot to give him the no bagel award, so bring that up to him when he comes on the pod. He probably won't watch this, but bring that up to him when he comes on the pod. Like, the dude hasn't bageled in solar.
Is he over in Miami right now?
He's in Miami. They're on a blitz right now, actually. But yeah, he lives in Miami. And
cool.
dude, this dude, like, it'll be like 9:30 p.m. and he doesn't have anything. And I'll text him like, "Uh-oh, buddy, like, today's the day, bro. You're about to bagel." And he'll literally send me a picture 10:15 with a customer just flipping me off, like, you bastard.
Damn.
He's a dog. So props to him. But yeah, that was like my production. Yeah, dropped from my top years. I wasn't selling that year.
Do you think that for somebody, and I'm sorry to cut you off, do you think that for somebody that's like trying to do what you're doing, do you think that it's something where you should be able to get to a point where it's developed and then go find a partner? Or do you feel like it's something where, like, do you think that, like, while you were doing like 300 counts with a big team, that you could have possibly been able to like fit that all in?
Yeah, I think preference is totally okay. So I'm not going to answer what I think. I'm going to say choose your preference on that. Do you want to build it when someone's there, or do you want to have something developed and have them come into it? So choose your preference. But I want to like double layer that with choose your preference, but don't make up your mind. Because if God goes and tells you, if you have a plan to go establish something first and then get a girl, but God goes and tells you, like, this is your girl, homie, or intuition or whatever, like I said at the beginning, you know when you know. Like, if you've already made up your mind, you might miss out on, don't play God. Like, always have preferences, but don't play God in anything. And I would say the same thing in your relationship.
So I have something that, like, kind of, like, add on to that.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer, and hopefully you can, like, correct that, and if it's something that it should be corrected, but I'm a firm believer of don't go shopping while you're hungry. So what that comes down to, it's if you are hungry for the opportunity that you're in, continue it. Use that drive to like keep it going. But I feel like a lot of guys our age, at least I'm 22, any guy from 19 to 25, I feel like, is always yearning for that like comfort of having a girlfriend, and that comes with being hungry, right? And so what do you think about that? Like being at least fully bought into this?
Yeah.
Or is it just don't go shopping while you're hungry? Like, what do you think?
I would just say, like, to keep it woo-woo, because we've had a woo-woo theme.
Brother, there's no woo-woo about anything,
we got a woo-woo theme here. Like, don't go to the grocery store. Let God put an apple tree in front of you. Like, that's what I would say. Like, when you're saying don't go shopping, like, don't go shopping, homie.
And so that shopping is don't go on Instagram. Don't go on,
like you don't.
Unnaturally do it.
Unnaturally. I was going to say, if that's like, again, choose your preference. If your preference is, dude, I want a girl right now, go freaking hunt. Don't go shop, go hunt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not shopping. If it's shopping and it's easy as you walk in and buy it, it's either illegal or not someone you want as a girlfriend, right? But if it's a hunt.
It's not the best thing for you.
Yeah, if it's like a hunt and you're like, you write out exactly the girl you want and exactly what's important to you, and you go find something as close to it as you possibly can, or maybe the person you find is even better in areas you didn't think about, and it's very intentional. And that, hell yeah, go pursue it for sure. But like, don't treat it lackadaisical in the sense of like, man, I'm hungry. Like I'm yearning for this comfort. I got to go find a girlfriend right now. This chick that I matched with that like I actually don't really like too much, but like she'd be my girlfriend. I'm gonna do that. That's just a recipe to go like
kind of fitting it into your standards because you're hungry for it.
Yeah, you're hurting yourself, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
That's
I understand
important.
what you're saying 100%.
Yeah.
I would just say, dude, like things happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And like you know what you want, and intuitively, this is one thing I'm just such a big believer on. Intuitively, you actually know way more than you think you know. This is Rick Rubin, dude. Like intuitively, he knows you know, like it's all inside of you. So like, don't go overcomplicated. I think that's the biggest problem with guys.
Yeah.
Like the biggest problem with guys is they overcomplicate this shit.
Yeah.
Right? And they give themselves an expectation that if they don't hit, they're a failure. So they have these rules in the dating world, and I have some really close friends with these rules that if they have this, they're a winner. If they have this, they're a failure. And the rules are very unfair to them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? The rules to win the game for them is got to have a girlfriend. She's got to be amazing. She has to be supportive. She has to love you if you're broke but want to make money. She has to support you. She has to help with your work stuff. She has to love all your friends. She has to not be drama. She has to be cool with you working
Way
long
too much
nights.
stuff.
It's like all these rules to be successful, and then they never ever attain them, so they never feel successful. So if they get a girl, it's only half these rules that they have. And these expectations, it falls short, and they break up with her. And it's like, oh, she wasn't the one. And it's like, dude, my rules when I was dating was, dude, I love companionship a ton, right? I do. So like part of my preference was being in relationships. There wasn't a lot of time that I was like a young single, like hit the town, do my thing. Not really. I love companionship. It was a preference. But my rules to win the dating game was, am I having fun? Am I able to focus on the things I want to? And are the people around me adding to my life?
100%.
Those were my rules. How hard is that to be as successful?
Not so hard.
That's
Because you're
not that hard.
simplifying it.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm making rules that are easier to feel the feelings I want. Like Tony Robbins teaches this at Date with Destiny. Like, you need to decide the feelings you want to feel, and then check the rules you currently have to feel those feelings right now, and change your damn rules.
Yeah.
Make it way easier to feel the way you want to feel.
Wow.
Way harder to feel the way you don't want to feel. We make these rules in our lives that are like, oh, I'm gonna feel shitty and like a failure if I do this, or this. My rules to feel shitty, and when I try and write them, is I will only feel shitty if I'm consecutively and consistently doing this. Like, it's far less likely for me to consecutively and consistently do one thing than it is for me to maybe potentially do one of these things at any point in time.
Yeah.
So far.
Does that make sense?
So
I
far.
like that.
Follow me?
That's good. I am. I kind of want to go backwards, though.
Okay.
So we went off on a tangent, right? I feel like in door-to-door or in sales, actually in door-to-door, when you get recruited and you start working with someone, you get recruited to this company, this team, whatever it was, they sold you the dream, right? And it comes down to, like, the way that you don't like being recruited or, like, recruiting. What do you have to say about, like, all these guys that are getting recruited, right? They work with that guy, and then now they're stuck with that guy. I've had, like, instances where I have friends, actually, that work at, for instance, like, Sunrun, right? Or I have a friend that works at Sunrun, and he worked there, and he liked it, right? And then it just starts falling off, and his managers aren't leading. And then now he has this whole, like, non-compete bullshit. You can't go to that office. You're under me. I'm going to get your overrides forever. You can't go to that office. And then it's like the same things at this company, right? Or like whatever. Every company's like that. It's like the same bullshit where it's like you got plugged in with this group. Yeah, you're fucked. You can't go to this group. I'll take all your overrides, or I have to at least let you go as my guy, and then for you to go there.
Yeah, just a belief that I refuse to adopt. It is that people don't have their freedom of choice in work and door to door. I refuse to adopt that belief.
You think they have complete freedom?
I refuse to adopt the belief that people don't have freedom to do what they want to do in door to door. Now, that belief got me into a massive lawsuit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't think that the place I was at was the best, and I went somewhere else. Obviously, the lawsuit didn't end in anything negative for me. It was awesome. It all ended great. Right? And it reinforced my belief. But ultimately, like, you have to be okay. Jordan Peterson talks about this all the time. You don't have to believe the things people tell you to believe. You don't have to follow the rules they give you to follow. But you have to be okay with the consequences that come if you break them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the same principle I want to go teach my kids. And, like, this idea of I'm stuck with this manager, dude, it's heavy. Like, there's a lot of reasons and scenarios and situations, and it's impossible to put a blanket statement over your question. because ultimately that could just be the rep being a total negative dickhead, and he's not
agree.
providing value to his office, right?
Yeah.
That could be the problem. Or the problem is his leadership is literally lacking, but he feels a level of loyalty to him so he can't leave. Or in the scenario you shared, his leadership is lacking, but he legally, according to a document of paper, can't go and do what he wants to do. And I'm just like, I don't think there should ever be a world where that's the case. I just don't believe that. Now, are there things in place with certain companies, in particular Vivint and Sunrun? Yeah, 100%, right?
So why is that? Because I feel like door-to-door is never...
I can give my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say this, right? And I've been in door-to-door a long time. I mean, at least for myself, I've been in it for a long time, 2 years, right?
Yep.
That's not a whole long time, but I've seen so many stories, right? Or so many things, or I've even felt certain things where it's like, it's not the absolute win for the rep. It's not an absolute win for the guy that's working for that company. They're slaving away. They're trying to make it in life. And it seems to be like it's not – it could be, but not the absolute win for that rep.
Yeah, I have torn opinion on this. One of my opinions is the grass is green where you water it.
Exactly.
Like, that's an opinion. That's a belief I have. Now, do I believe that could be a blanket statement for all this? No, because that would mean I would say wherever you're at is the best place for you. I also don't believe that. So it's a really interesting and multi-layered question, or like, I guess, concept or idea to talk about. But like, to answer your question of like, well, dude, they feel trapped, and then their managers all of a sudden telling them like, no, you have to stay or whatever. Like, it's like this control thing. There's a lot of reasons for it, and that doesn't make anyone wrong. We're in a highly capitalistic industry. Like, we're all capitalists. We all want to capitalize on everyone at all times. Of course we do. Now, do some people balance that better with actually caring about people? Yeah, some people do care a lot more about their people than other people do. And to me, that's really important, right? But like, with all that being said, there is like, but then on the flip side of that coin of you don't own anyone, you also, like, if you go give someone a lot, to me, I've always felt like I owe people things. Yeah. I've never not wanted someone to make money on me ever. I want people to make money on me, especially the people like Brad Rossiter that are pouring into you, that have been around for a really long time. Like, I've never had a problem with that. Like, I don't have a problem with that. So I have like this torn perspective, but I also am realizing as well, like, dude, people do the best where they're the most excited to be as well. Like, and they do the best when they're around the right people. And like, that's why a big focus in our region is to make sure all the right people are in our region. That's really important to me. I don't want someone who's a cancer, no matter how many accounts they sell or how much money I can make. Right? Whereas there's a lot of orgs that's kind of the top priority. That's one of my priorities. It's not my top priority. So to speak to, like, why does that exist and why is that a thing? It's because we're in a capitalistic industry. Ultimately, a company can control whether another company can onboard you. In the crazy instance of Vivint and Sunrun, it's one of the only like official like no hires agreements. Yeah, it's super capitalistic on both company sides. Think about it. Yeah, how's that fair? We have a partnership.
It just is what it is. It's just
how's it fair? I don't know, and I also don't know how sustainable it is. I don't know any of that stuff. But I know right now, this is what it is, and this is why it is. I know that. Yeah. Right. And I don't know if it's right or wrong or who makes those decisions. I don't know any of that. Right. Like, at the end of the day, we are still choosing to be employees of companies to an extent, but also at the same time, it's kind of a twisted concept in my opinion. Like, I really do. I believe my guys should be able to work where they want to work. I believe people should be able to work where they want to work. And I don't believe there's wrong rules in a game as long as everybody's playing by the same rules and they're announced before the game starts. Yeah, exactly. I've always believed that in every game.
And that comes down to the way that you like to recruit.
Exactly. I've always believed that in any game I play. I don't think there's a wrong way to play dodgeball, whether you can step out or not. If it hits the ball and it knocks the ball, it doesn't matter. The rules aren't right or wrong. They're just whatever you said at the beginning, everyone has to play by. Otherwise, the game's unfair, and I'm not okay with unfair games. Yeah. Exactly. So can I tell you if it's right or wrong? No. Can I tell if it's fair? No. But I can tell you that's how it is, and I can tell you why it is. And then what I would say is, like, in other instances, I'm not talking about Sunrun and Vivint, but just in general, I think, actually, and probably every scenario, any way you dice it, you are a freaking human being. You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah. You can and just do it the right way. Yeah. And there are ways. And if you go read your contract, you'll see what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. Be as honest as you can. And being honest is also following your contract to a certain extent, right? Like, that's where I don't think I did a single thing wrong by choosing to go from one company to another company, never slandering the other company, never talking bad, never trying to recruit people from that company. Yeah. Like, that was the way I left. Dude, I left 3 days before a vesting period for my stock, and I did that on purpose. That's
you didn't care.
multiple six figures. It's not because I didn't care. I care about multiple six figures. If it would have vested, it would have still been mine leaving. That's what vesting means, right? Like I would have gotten that couple $100,000 of stock vested. And I knew I was leaving. I had decided to leave. I had committed to leave, and I was like already gone. And that was the day I resigned. And that was 3 days before a vesting schedule. How many people in door to door would have just been quiet for 3 more days and made a couple $100,000? Probably most people.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are times where I go back and I'm like, dude, you're a freaking idiot. No one even knows that you did that. Like that doesn't make you look good to anybody. Like what are you doing? But like for me in the moment, for the moment I regret it, I go right back to no, I don't regret it because that feels super in line with my integrity. Right. And like
all comes down to integrity.
Integrity is really important to me, and it's become a really big theme, especially the last couple of years. It's been a new way of defining it for me, integrity, due to some friends in the Tony Robbins community that have kind of like helped me look at it different. But that's what I would say.
Fire response, bro. I hate to cut it short. But I know we're going a little overtime. Look at the time, 3:33. But what I would, as we're wrapping this up, bro, we usually end it with like maybe like I know that. We usually end it with maybe like a Bible verse or something, maybe a quote that you like to share. But with you, I kind of wanted to get maybe 3 books that you can share with the people. Yeah. And then just follow up with just a quick quote that you just live by that people can.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I love that. I got those answers ready. So the first book I'd read, probably the most impactful book of my entire life, gives me chills every time I read it. Like, it's the greatest. I think it's the greatest book. It's the first book I recommend to anyone, and it's the greatest salesman in the world. And like, don't just read the book, do the call to action at the end of the book. Like,
it's called The Greatest Salesman in the World
by Og Mandino. Yep. It's Casey had me read. I read it probably twice a year, every year that I've been in door to door, and it's like it's helped me with life, not just sales, but it really helped me with sales in the moment that it counted. Greatest Salesman in the World is book number 1. Number 2 would be The Happiness Advantage. By Sean Aker. Like that was a really big book for me year 3. I'm such a competitive person that I caught myself forgetting to have fun because fun didn't feel productive. And then I learned that there's literally a strategic advantage if you're happy. If you take care of your happiness, you're giving yourself an advantage in work. That's all someone needed to tell me to prioritize fun, right? Because I was singularly focused, like I told you guys. Nothing else mattered but doing good at work. And the second I read a book that taught me that being happy would help me at work, I found myself doing a lot of shit that I wasn't doing before that I'm so glad I do because it raises my experience in life so much. Yeah. Because I value being happy. Weird concept, right? Happiness Advantage is a big one. And then the last one, dude, there's so many. And like, there's like, of course, the OG books like As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Those are all great reads. They're incredible. But I want to give 3 that have been the most impactful for me.
Maybe a book on leadership.
Yeah, I was kind of choosing between 2 different ones. One was like just a mindset book, and one was leadership. But 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is like, that's like my Bible for leadership. I have had all my leaders read it. I love that book like that. I've read a lot on leadership. I love John C. Maxwell's series, but I love 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I would say that's probably the other one, especially if your audience is anyone that are leaders or aspiring leaders.
That's awesome.
Then the number 1 quote that I like live by, besides today's the day, right? Besides the definition of Meraki, besides all these other things that I've kind of coined, leave no doubt, all these things. No, the one it's tattooed on my leg. I have multiple quotes tattooed on my leg, so I'll give you 2. First one is live like no one else so you can live like no one else. That just reinforces my belief in seasons. Sometimes you got to live like no one else in your 20s so that you can live like no one else can for the rest of your life. Yeah. Right? Live like no one else will so you can live like no one else can. Like I love that. It's tattooed on me. And the second one, and this is like probably if I were to be able to leave a legacy in door to door, that's like, what was the motto? Like, Meraki, the definition, his track record. What was his motto? It's plain and simple. And like the most powerful quote I know is you cannot beat someone who doesn't quit.
Fuck yeah.
And like,
fuck yes, bro.
That quote has got me through a lot of days and a lot of different things. So that's what
awesome.
I'd say.
We really appreciate you, bro. You are the definition of fucking polite, bro.
Polite,
You're
baby.
A fucking
to
G.
The moon.
We love you so much. We appreciate you being on the pod. If you guys are watching this, follow Zaz. Instagram's going to be in the link in the bio. Check out Meraki. Check out what he's doing. He's doing beautiful things over at Sunrun. He's a fucking G. All of his homies are cool. Yeah. And yeah, bro, if you guys want to tune into his journey, just follow up.
Last thing before I go. Good thing I was plugged into Polite, and Meraki's dope. But if you're not happy where you're at, like you said, fuck wherever you're at and just do whatever you want to do. Happily, I'm with Polite, but plug in with Meraki if you need to.
Let's do it.
And then we're always hiring.
By the way, I'm gonna say this: if Polite were to ever go anywhere, we would go over to Meraki. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Hey,
You
hey,
can't
just
even
saying.
say that.
We just. Oh, we can't
Hey,
say that. We have to cut that
Thank
out.
you.
We have to cut
know.
that.
It's
I
up
mean,
to you.
fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
Very
Yeah.
unfiltered.
Signing out. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Never really stop, think I'm going backward. Lose track, think of it all after. Too bad it's moving too fast.
I said I could take you somewhere, anywhere you please.